So I thought I'd bring it in for wedging of this most recent hang of mine. It is a New England Axe Company old Yank axe head made by Emerson and Stevens in Oakland, Maine. I hung the head on a 28-inch Lumberman by Whiskey River. I applied some Aquafortis to this handle to give it a nice vintage look. The Aquafortis solution reacts with the tannins in the wood and gives it that nice dark color. So in the video here, I'm using a flatter to drive that wedge in. It advances the wedge into the handle really nice and evenly. But here I'm noticing I'm not getting as much depth penetration as I was hoping for. So I go isolate the front half of the wedge and try to drive that in a little bit farther because I have more to take up in that front portion of the eye. And it just really hit a pretty hard stop there, so I just go ahead and cut it off. I'm just cleaning up that cut off, making it nice and smooth and even. A file does a really nice job of this, getting a nice flat surface on the top, and I use a little piece of sandpaper to just chamfer the edges, the corners a little bit, so it doesn't sliver or split. This is just in preparation for placing a micro wedge into that existing wedge to drive the front portion of it into that corner of the eye, because I want all of that space taken up. So I have a little chisel, it's about the width of the wedge itself, that I'm driving into it to split it, force that wedge forward, and create space for the micro wedge. So I drop a little piece of glue in there. I have a little walnut micro wedge that I shaped up for the size width that I need there, and I'm just driving that in here until I get a nice hard stop on that, and then I'm going to cut it off and resurface the top there. You may notice I'm cutting this a little bit strangely. That saw blade has two sides to it. One is a fine tooth and one is a more rough tooth side. I wanted the fine tooth just so I didn't destroy that micro wedge there. And so I'm just evening it up, smoothing the top over. We're just about done. That took up the rest of the eye space really nicely. I did have walnut as one of the woods in that alternating pattern, and that micro wedge just blended right in perfectly. There's a little close-up shot. I think there's some purple heart in the middle, some box elder, then some oak and walnut. I put some tinted paste wax on it, give it a little darker color, match the rest of the handle. And I hadn't oiled the handle yet, so now it's time. And I'm really, all I'm putting on here is standard untinted paste wax that I make myself. It smells wonderful, does a great job of finishing this wood, giving it a protective layer. Feels good in the hand too. Really brings out the grain, deepens that color. That Aquafortis just is so beautiful on this hickory wood handle. Just making sure that wax gets in all the crooks and crannies there, give it optimal protection. So this turned out to be a really nice 3 1/4 pound New England felling axe. It's on one of Whiskey River's 28-inch Lumberman handles that they just came out with. Fun addition to their diverse handle lineup. And now it's time for some glamour shots. It was too dark outside, so we got some indoor shots for you. Great looking wedge there. Good looking hang from the bottom. Takes up the full eye. Old Yank. Thanks for watching.